And let me tell you, he is the MVP of girl dads, to say the least.
It started with a single post, one that no one saw coming. After months of silence, Kobe Bryant's daughter finally spoke out, and her words sent shockwaves across the internet. For years, the Bryant family has been seen as unbreakable, a symbol of love, loss, and legacy. But this was different. Her message wasn't a tribute or a reflection. It was a warning, a quiet confession that hinted at something much deeper, something the world wasn't supposed to know. Within minutes, fans were dissecting every word, every emoji, every pause in her tone. Was Vanessa really pregnant? And if so, why had the family been hiding it? As theories spiraled out of control, one truth became clear. This wasn't just another rumor. Because what Kobe's daughter said next didn't just break the silence. It shattered the image. Everyone thought they understood.
I sit here in front of you guys. Furious at myself. So I sit down by myself. I'm making a mistake of adultery.
For years, Vanessa Bryant lived in quiet resilience, raising her daughters, honoring Kobe's legacy, and guarding their private world from the chaos outside. Every post, every appearance, felt carefully chosen, almost sacred. But behind that calm exterior, whispers began to grow. It started small, a few fan accounts claiming she looked different, that her glow had changed. Then a photo surfaced, Vanessa at a charity event, hand resting gently over her stomach, eyes cast down. No statement, no denial, just silence. And that silence became deafening. "I don't believe it," one fan wrote on Twitter. "She would have said something if it was true," another replied. "Or maybe, she doesn't owe us anything." But what no one expected was her daughter's reaction. When Natalia posted a single black heart emoji with the words, "Some truths don't need protection anymore," the internet froze. Behind the scenes, friends said tension had been building for months. Natalia had grown distant, skipping family appearances, turning off comments, and avoiding questions about her mother. A source close to the family whispered that Vanessa had been keeping something major from her children, and that Natalia felt betrayed, not by the news itself, but by the secrecy. She found out the same way everyone else did, the source claimed. Through the whispers, fans began piecing together clues. An anonymous Reddit post claiming an unexpected announcement from a Bryant insider. A blurry screenshot of text messages between two supposed assistants hinting at Vanessa's late appointments. Every corner of the internet lit up with speculation. Was it a miracle? A mistake? Or a move that reopened wounds too deep to heal? And then came the interview. A small, late-night podcast with barely 10,000 followers suddenly uploaded a clip titled "She Finally Speaks." In it, a woman's voice, calm but shaking, said, "You can't rebuild a family on secrets." That's all I'll say. Fans were convinced it was Natalia. The tone, the emotion, the heartbreak, it felt too real to be fake. Did she just confirm it? One user commented, "She sounds broken." Another replied, "No, she sounds angry." The next morning, the clip was gone, deleted without a trace. But by then, it had already been downloaded, reposted, and spread across TikTok and Twitter. Those close to Vanessa claimed she was blindsided, that the post wasn't planned, that the family was in the middle of something delicate, something they weren't ready to share. But as the silence stretched, Natalia doubled down. She unfollowed a few accounts tied to her mother's inner circle and posted another cryptic message: "You can't hide truth in love's name forever." Suddenly, the public image of strength began to fracture. Fans who once saw Vanessa as unshakable started asking uncomfortable questions. Had grief turned to distance? Had the walls she built to protect her family started to close them in instead? And somewhere between the denial and the whispers, one detail began to surface: a name. Someone connected to the Bryant Foundation. Someone who, until now, had stayed entirely out of the spotlight. But insiders claim Natalia discovered something, a private message, a conversation. Something that changed everything. She thought she knew about her mother's new chapter. By the time the story broke, it wasn't just about a pregnancy. It was about legacy, love, and betrayal. The kind that doesn't come from enemies, but from the people you trust the most. And if what Natalia found is true, then Vanessa's silence might not be about privacy at all. It might be about protection from something far bigger than anyone expected. Hours after Natalia's cryptic post went viral, the internet became a battlefield. Half the fans defended her, claiming she was just protecting her father's legacy. The other half accused her of disrespect, of turning private pain into public chaos. But deep inside the storm, something darker was brewing. A screenshot began circulating, a series of leaked DMs allegedly between Natalia and one of Kobe's former teammates' wives. The messages were raw, emotional, and impossible to ignore. I tried asking her. One message read, "She lied straight to my face. Said it was a rumor, but the doctor visits weren't for her." Another message simply said, "I saw the test. And it wasn't what she told us." People questioned everything: who leaked it, who the messages were about, and what Vanessa was hiding. Then came the audio. A 42-second voice note uploaded anonymously to a Reddit thread titled "Vanessa's Secret Confession." The woman's voice, soft but shaking, whispered, "He wanted this. He said it would help us move on. But how do you move on when the world won't let you?" The internet erupted. Was she talking about a new partner? A planned pregnancy? Or something far more complicated? A promise made in grief that had spiraled into guilt? For the first time, fans began to wonder if Vanessa's silence wasn't arrogance, but agony. Natalia's next move made things worse. She posted one final story, a photo of her father, smiling, with the caption, "Some things should have stayed sacred." Within minutes, Vanessa's team released a statement calling the rumors deeply hurtful and entirely fabricated, but the words felt too polished, too rehearsed. It didn't sound like a mother, it sounded like a brand. Meanwhile, a former family friend came forward anonymously, claiming Natalia had discovered a letter one Kobe allegedly wrote to Vanessa shortly before his passing. The letter, they said, mentioned a promise to keep their family whole, no matter what. Fans began connecting dots that weren't meant to connect. Did Vanessa interpret that promise differently than her daughter did? By now, the Bryant legacy, once sacred, untouchable, had become an open wound. Every reaction, every silence, every cryptic post carried weight. Some fans begged the family to step away from the spotlight. Others demanded truth. But behind closed doors, the distance between mother and daughter had turned into something colder. When Natalia was asked by a close friend if she'd ever speak publicly again, her answer was simple: not until she tells the truth. And that's when another leak appeared, an unseen clip from a private family dinner months ago, where Vanessa's voice could be faintly heard saying, "Kobe would have wanted me to be happy, even if no one else understands." The clip ended before context could be revealed. But by then, the damage was done, because in that single sentence, the world heard both love and betrayal. And for the first time, it wasn't clear who was protecting Kobe's legacy and who was rewriting it. The silence between Vanessa and Natalia became its own language: long pauses, unanswered calls, statements that said everything without saying a word. Insiders described the tension as unbearable. The daughter who once stood beside her mother through tragedy had now become the mirror she couldn't face. Every word between them felt like walking through broken glass. When Vanessa finally spoke privately, not through a PR team, not in a statement, but to her daughter, it was already too late. The damage had been done, and the world had already chosen sides. "You don't understand." Vanessa's voice trembled. "This isn't about lies. It's about surviving what's left." Natalia's reply was colder, sharper. "Survival doesn't mean replacing him, Mom." That line, "replacing him," became the phrase that echoed across every headline. Reporters twisted it, fans debated it, and soon, the idea took root that maybe this pregnancy wasn't just personal, maybe it was symbolic. Something deeper, almost haunting. Then one night, a close family friend leaked what they claimed was the truth. It wasn't a scandalous affair. It wasn't betrayal in the way the internet wanted it to be. It was heartbreak, pure and complicated. Vanessa, they said, had quietly been pursuing IVF, not because of a secret relationship, but because of a promise she made to Kobe. The letter, the one Natalia found, wasn't just about keeping the family whole. It was about hope. Kobe had written that if anything ever happened to him, he wanted their love to live on in the life they'd planned to bring into this world together. That letter had been Vanessa's silent reason, the reason behind every appointment, every denial, every sleepless night. When Natalia discovered it, she didn't see love. She saw loss, being dragged into something new, something she wasn't ready to face. "You're trying to bring him back," she said in anger. "But he's gone, Mom, and you can't fix that." For the first time, Vanessa broke. Her strength, the poise she'd carried through every headline, every tragedy finally cracked. "I know," she whispered, "but I have to keep a part of him alive, even if it destroys me." The recording of that conversation, quietly captured by someone in the room, found its way online weeks later. Fans called it staged. Others said it was too real to fake. Whatever it was, it shattered hearts. In that single moment, the narrative shifted. This wasn't a story about betrayal. It was about a mother's unbearable longing and a daughter's desperate need to move forward without drowning in the past. Days later, Vanessa disappeared from social media entirely. No posts, no statements, nothing. But a single image appeared on an anonymous Instagram account believed to be hers, a black and white photo of a small pair of baby shoes next to Kobe's sneakers. The caption read only, "He'll always walk with us." The internet fell silent. No confirmation, no denial, just that haunting image. Some fans cried, others questioned everything. Did the pregnancy rumor finally find its truth? Or was it just a metaphor, a symbol of holding on and letting go at the same time? And as the noise faded, one final post appeared from Natalia. It was a simple message, without context or explanation. Some promises are too heavy for one person to carry. That's when people realized, maybe both of them were right. Maybe love, in its purest form, doesn't end neatly, it breaks, bends, and rebuilds in ways no one can understand. But somewhere, between grief and rebirth, a truth still lingers, one that only the Bryants know. And until they choose to share it, the world will keep wondering what really happened behind that silence that broke the internet and united a family in heartbreak once again. Drives engagement. It's the image that stopped the world, those tiny shoes beside Kobe's. After all the rumors, the leaks, and the heartbreak, one truth finally broke through. This story was never about scandal. It was about love, grief, and the impossible promise of keeping a legacy alive. But even now, questions remain. Was the photo a goodbye, or the beginning of something new? Did Vanessa truly step away from the spotlight? Or is there another message waiting? One that could change how we see everything that's happened? Because if that recording was real, and if what was whispered in that final moment truly came from her heart, then we're only scratching the surface of the truth. What happened next? No one saw coming. If you want to hear the unreleased audio that fans claim is Vanessa's final message, comment for the next video because the real story isn't over yet.